Good morning, all. How are you? It is a bright and sunny day here in Vancouver. You can see no clouds, no clouds expected at least until the evening. Um, it's supposed to be like 94, 95, 98. It depends on what weather service you use. Currently, it's nice and breezy out. The Weather Channel app says that it is 70 degrees. So, um, looking forward to a great day. Aside of that, it is July 11th, 9:32 in the morning, and you are having tea with me. So, uh, eventful weekend. We had an open house. Um, uh, Stan Miller stopped by from Portland Jiu Jitsu, or formerly Portland Small Circle Jiu Jitsu, however it wants to identify. But and he lives in the area. He and his wife stopped by for a seminar. Well, he didn't stop by for the seminar. He stopped by just because he was in the area in June, but he actually purposely stopped by so he could see the school and all that kind of stuff. So hung out. So it was good to see him. Got a selfie. Didn't post it because, like, I don't do shit like that. I don't know why. So it'll be posted here soon. Had a couple students stay through from Saturday morning class, so they basically goofed off, and I used them as demonstration, and so it was fun. It was fun. We got several people who came in. Got some adults and some kids. Nobody signed up, but that's okay because they're here. I have one of the adults, or actually this couple. It's actually really cool. Their last name is Nice, and they were actually nice people. But they live right down the street. They did they had done martial arts in the past, but wanted to get back into it. They said they're going to do my 10 for 10. So I have not done it yet because yesterday I was super, super busy, and I'll get back into that. But I was basically going to send out like an email to all of those that came through yesterday or on Saturday, basically, and thank them, remind them of the 10 for 10, call of action type thing. One gal came through, a nurse I actually used to work with at the hospital. She came in through with her kid, and has to talk with of course, have to talk with the father about scheduling, but hey, it is what it is. Good morning, Young. How are you, sir? So it was a successful day. People came in that actually, it's funny. All the people that said, "Oh, hey, I'm going to be there," or "I'm going to try to be there," usually when I hear "try," I hear no. But it was good to have people that I didn't expect to show up, people I didn't even know. I mean, that's really the whole point, is to get people in that you don't know. So one guy came in. He had I had actually forgot that he was that he said he was going to come in. So I guess one person who said he was going to come in did come in, and he hung out for, use the bags. We did a little bit of, he took part in some of my, a couple of my little self-defense classes. So it was actually pretty fun. And so we're thinking possibly maybe like every 6 months, just do an open house, just, or basically maybe call it an open mat. You just come in, meet the instructor. We'll have popcorn, give away prizes, that kind of stuff. Just to kind of just as a way to get people in to watch, to play on the mat. If they're interested, So, and then let's see. But yesterday I spent most of my day cleaning because this week, or this weekend, I should say, specifically Thursday morning, I'll be picking up Bram for his birthday bash this coming weekend. So, of course we clean the house on a regular basis, but every once in a while, like most everybody else, we do a deep clean. So I actually, my office that I used to do all my t-shirts in, I actually used to do my podcast from there. It was atrocious. It was just, collecting boxes, and I hadn't put stuff away. So I decided to completely clean it. And also because the dojo is in its own home now, I decided that I was going to take some of the stuff that was being housed in the closet, aka my kids' shit, and put that in the garage. So went and bought some extra boxes, and packed up all of his stuff, put it in the garage, and found that my cat, Wonderful Dojo, had been pissing in the closet. So I cleaned up that mess, and then I rented a carpet cleaner and just decided, you know what? It's been a while since we've cleaned the carpets. I'm just going to clean the carpet. So I cleaned the carpet in the office. So I pulled like all this stuff out except for the main desk, and cleaned the carpets last night. And then my wife was like, oh, in my office, we haven't done that in a while. And there were some stains on the carpet. Of course, that happens. And so I was like, yeah, sure. I said, just move all the stuff out of the way. And this is actually where Bram usually sleeps, because we have this little ottoman that folds out into like a single bed. So we pulled that out, vacuumed, cleaned the carpet last night. And then I was like, well, I still have some solution left. So, and I have this thing until like 11 o'clock tonight. So I was like, well, I was up early, so I cleaned the carpet in the main living room. And oh my gosh, it's kind of amazing what clean carpet looks like. Revitalizes the carpet. It sticks up now instead of being matted, because even though we have a built-in slave, aka a child, she never vacuums. And so really it's me and Lisa, and a lot of times we don't have time. So a lot of time, even when we vacuum, the carpet is still matted. But now, like, the little fibers are sticking up. It looks almost new. It's fantastic. Strange. So I got finished doing that, and the cat's looking at me right now. That's why I was playing squirrel on. So that's all done. Carpet is almost dry in the office, so I'll start moving stuff back in here after the podcast. But actually, by the time I'm done here, it'll probably be about 80 degrees. The slope of expected temperature rise is going to be insane. But I already got the air conditioners on, just to kind of get the house starting to cool, because when it's this hot, I got to start early. The insulation is crap, and the heat vents in the on the main part of the house just don't cut it. I put in a heat vent in the garage, and like when it hits 80 degrees, it snaps on, and on the hottest day, the garage is so cool because it sucks out all of the heat from the attic area. So I need to do that on the main house, and then it'll be a little bit cooler during the summer. So our air conditioners won't have to work that hard. Because here in the Northwest, I have window rattlers. I don't have forced air, so I can't get like your traditional air conditioner. So I know you can get the ductless, and I've actually been looking at those. So that's a potential, but still have some more cleaning, setting up to do. Brams camp, like I said, is this weekend. So there is still time to sign up, even for the virtual camp. Nobody has signed up for the virtual camp, which is a shame because you can, we have this great virtual setup. He's on a mic. He checks in with you. You get access to the video when it's done. Well, when I upload it. Usually for the camps, I'm really good about that. So, but yeah. But I got my order of shirts. So I'll probably be doing shirts today or maybe tomorrow for the camp. So things are moving right along, and the weather. So usually the last couple of years, it has been insanely hot over Bram's birthday weekend. And when I originally looked at the temperature, I don't know how long ago, what was it? It was going to be in the low 80s. And I was like, okay, that's doable. And then it got into the high 80s. And then it got into the really high 80s. Like I think one of the days was 90. And I'm like, okay, well, it looks like we're going to have this at the school because I don't want people to get heat stroke. And then what is super, super cool is all of a sudden, it's going to be like 83 on Thursday or on Friday. And it's going to be like 78 on Saturday and Sunday, partly sunny or mostly sunny. But I'm like, that's like perfect training weather, So, so I'm going to send out, that's another email I got to send out an email to the people who have already registered just to remind them, hey, the weather, this is what the weather's looking like, but please remember to, there will be water because I make sure that there's water and that there will be, wear sunscreen. I do not provide sunscreen, but I do provide water. So I don't know if we're going to do it today, probably tomorrow. We will, because I have not yet put up the shades on the side of the house, but we'll get that ready. Getting ready. And I'm going to have to share this off my phone. And I don't know if I've done this yet. Getting ready for the open house. I put up my second set of letters behind the desk, and they actually look really cool. So I took the banner down, and if this will behave, there we go. So that's actually what it looks like. It's a smaller version. I have not yet decided if I'm going to put up any rank certificates or association certificates. I don't know. Not positive about that, but I don't know. Now I do have, because I was thinking in association certificates, like I'm associated with Hogan and associated with CSSD, of course. And I've got a loose association with Okuden Circle, but I don't nothing's official. I haven't paid for anything, but good friends with Jim. So I'm thinking that I get an Okuden, I become an affiliate of them, and just, for whatever. And then I have this little display in the back, and it's got basically patches from different organizations I've been involved with over the years. But then I would do the same thing in a nicer frame up front. It's just our associations, and then have the patches from those associations up front. So kind of like artwork. So actually, you know what? That's actually pretty good idea. I hadn't thought about that until now, doing it in patch instead of printing something off. Because if I get kicked out of something, I can always just take the patch out of the frame instead of having to reprint something. not like I'm planning on getting kicked out of anything, but you never know. Sometimes I don't play nice with people. I don't play nice politically, but I don't plan on it. The groups that I'm involved with now aren't those type of groups that would kick you out. I'd really have to screw up. Like, it's almost like working at the hospital. They hire the dumbest people in the world, and they screw up massively, and they still keep these people employed. It's just, I don't know. And especially in the security department, they aren't even union. I would get union. You know, union protects you, but not like, yeah. Anyway, I'll stop. It's in the past. God, this tea is really good. It's, you know, it's a nice temperature out. Nice warm cup of tea. Hot cup of tea is always good, especially to kind of temper stuff out. One thing I haven't done is birthdays in a while. So let's do birthdays. Let's call out some people for being old. Let's see. So I do know. Let's see, birthdays. Okay. So let's go back. If I look at my calendar. No, wrong link. Okay, so if I look at my calendar, going back when it comes to Star Trek people, so Friday, I haven't done birthdays in a while. So on Friday the 8th, God, what is his name? Shazad Latif. I don't know how to pronounce his name, but he's the dude that played Ash Tyler, aka Vok, the Klingon that was converted to human in Discovery, and then was the love interest of Michael Burnham for a minute. His birthday was on Friday. He was 36. We got Linda Park. Her birthday was on Saturday, the 9th. Linda Park plays, she plays Hoshi Sato from Enterprise, which I'm watching right now. So, and I'm actually up to date. That was one thing that I was able to do Saturday, because Saturday after the event, I got home and took a nap. I was just absolutely exhausted. So I got home, took a nap, and then just woke up and watched several hours of Star Trek. And then Sunday I had Star Trek playing in the back. In fact, I had to rewatch some stuff. In fact, I did. I actually rewatched. I went all the way back to some episodes that I had played while I was doing the whatchamacallit, while I was making the letters, just because of, I didn't pay that much attention, but paid more attention on these. So as of last night, I'm all caught up. Some cool things from Linda Park as her character Hoshi Sato. Lots of growing in the first season. She's kind of that whiny little, like, why the hell did you get into Starfleet if you're going to be so timid? But her character's grown, and it's not like I didn't like the character. At least watching it now, her character is a little bit annoying until like the end of the first season, beginning of the second season. You're like, it's almost like she finally got her wings, that kind of that thing. So anyway, her birthday was on Saturday the 9th. She is 44. So, and then Tom Corson, he is, I would say he is one of Dan Anderson's top students. He's been with Dan like forever. And then he took a break and now he's back. And so he's a good guy. I do not know how old he is. Let's see. Will Facebook tell me? Nope. Just says that his birthday was on the 9th. So, And then let's see who else's birthday was on the 9th. So we got Brian Hodges. So Brian is, if Brian is still alive, Brian is ancient. With all respect, Brian was a lawyer down in the Eugene area. Did martial arts for a long time. He actually for about a year, maybe, I think, maybe a little bit less. He used to come up every month, every 3 weeks. He would drive up from Eugene to Vancouver and do a private lesson with me. And he was already in his 70s back then. So I know, he was half blind then. So, I know that he stopped traveling because of eyesight, but super, super nice guy. Very knowledgeable, very talented. But I haven't heard if he has passed away or not, but his birthday was on the 9th. And then on the 10th, we have another martial artist. I only knew this guy for a little bit. He is 51. It was yesterday, the 10th. Carl Davis. Met him through my buddy Howard, and I think he trained with God, what's his name? I can't remember his name. I'm sorry, I forget. Anyway, so he was 51 yesterday, and then my buddy Julie, she is her birthday was yesterday. She's a Providence person, and so her birthday was yesterday. And then today, Joe Warner. Don't know him. Have I met him personally? I don't know, but I'm friends with him on Facebook. I'm friends with a lot of people on Facebook I've never met. Mainly I use Facebook for networking. And so if you know somebody who is a friend of mine and you seem like good people and you're not too extreme, then I don't have a problem with being friends with you on Facebook. But anyway, so his birthday is today. And I probably have met him. I just don't remember. But he is friends with people I am friends with that I have actually met. So, internet, social media, it's just one of those things. And then let's see. Let's go back to this calendar. And I don't really have anything else. There's nobody else's birthday was over the weekend that I know of. So I'm probably sure something popped up, but I don't know. There's only so many things I can remember. Sorry. Yeah. So those are the birthdays. Now I'm going to go over, now it's Enterprise time. I'm not going to go over every single episode. I think that might get a little bit boring, but let's go to my little calendar thing and we will see. All right. So just some things that I noticed, some things that I thought that were pretty cool. Let's see. Because we talked about Dear Doctor was an interesting episode. This is like episode 13. So, I mean, this is like basically halfway through the second season. We already talked about Shuttle Pod 1, but Dear Doctor this is basically Dr. Phlox has a pen pal with another doctor, an Earth doctor who's on Denobula. And so there, it's basically his letter back to him. But in the background, you have what's it called? You have the Enterprise they're trying to help whatever this one race, because they're dying of some disease, and they turn out that basically it's genetic, and that within a couple centuries, this race will be gone, and that this other race that is basically the Packlids of, you know, they're two humanoid species. One is dying out and one is taking over. And um, and so it's like, do they help them? Do they not help them? Do they get involved? So they basically figure out, okay, well, you know, we can slow it down. They can slow down this decline of people dying off, but they can't fix it. So they do help out in a little bit, but it kind of goes to and because they're like, oh, you know, because they're like, oh, well, can you help us? And they're like, oh, sure, we'll help you medically. And they're like, now we want warp drive, because with warp drive we can go further and further, because they basically came upon this ship of people who were dying, but they went out into space, and of course they're not warp capable. So if we went by the standards of the first of the Prime Directive, they wouldn't have, you know, they might, you know, say, okay, well, you know, they're spacefaring, but we're going to have very little to do with them because they don't have warp technology. Let's see. Fusion. So Fusion is the first we meet Vulcans who do not. Hey James, how are you? Are you being a good boy? We're talking about Star Trek. I know that's your favorite subject, but in Fusion we get to meet Vulcans who don't really they don't prescribe to the anti-logic, and the main Vulcan dude is actually played by Robert Pine, who is Chris Pine's father. So Robert Pine was in an episode of Voyager, I think, and then he did an episode of Enterprise. But this is where we learn about the mind meld, and that mind melds, they don't do mind melds. It's a forbidden practice, and I can't remember why they forbid it, but it is what it is. What is it? But essentially, T'Pol is mind raped by one of these guys. So it is just me today. We had a sleepover with a 3-year-old who is currently entertaining James. Oh, okay. Well, that's fun. Oh, I think Ashton told me about that. Yeah. I don't know if I could do a sleepover with a 3-year-old, unless of course it was James. But anyway, so we find out a little, you know, things on that nature, and then it's an interesting episode. Rogue Planet, I don't know, that wasn't okay. Acquisition. So Acquisition, we meet the Ferengi, but they don't know it's the Ferengi. However, we do have some stars that come back. We have Ethan Phillips, Neelix. He plays the head Ferengi guy, and I didn't realize it was him at first, but the way that he, like the way he enunciated stuff, and his the way his jaw moved and his lips moved, I picked it out. And then Jeffrey Combs. Like, Jeffrey Combs is in like everything, so he was in it. And Clint Howard. So I think there were four Ferengi total, but you had Ethan Phillips, and we all know Clint Howard is Ron Howard's brother, but he also played oh God, I can't remember the name of the character, but it was that bald-headed kid from an original series episode. Yeah. So, let's see. Nothing really to speak of. Going over Desert Crossing was it was okay. Well, let's see. Detained. Oh, Detained. We had another star, fellow modernist practitioner, and his name is escaping me right now. Oh shoot. He played Al in Quantum Leap, and he played he was in Battlestar Galactica as the brother or the priest, and I can't even remember that character's name, and cannot remember his name. I hate it. I hate when I can't remember the people's names, because even I had it last night, but I don't have it now. I'm going to do a really quick IMDb because this is killing me. And the name is just, it's there, but it's not. Let's see. All the way to the end. Detained. Dean Stockwell. Oh, I cannot remember. I cannot believe I didn't remember that name. Anyway, Dean Stockwell. So he plays in it. And I remember when Enterprise first started, I saw, and this was before memes were a thing, but I saw a cartoon where it was, they had Archer, it basically had Archer in his outfit on the Enterprise, and it had Al, Dean Stockwell, from Quantum Leap, and he's sitting there with the thing is Ziggy says that you went forward like 200 years in the future, and you're captaining the Enterprise, so it was almost like this little snippet out of Quantum Leap. I thought that was kind of cool, which they're making a new, like they're bringing back the show. So I have mixed feelings. I don't know if it's a kind of a reboot or if they're doing one of those where they're gonna continue on with the story and reference back to the original. So I'm not sure. Colonel Grat is Dean Stockwell. That's who he played in Enterprise. And his name comes up in future episodes too. So let's see, Desert Crossing. We have another actor. I cannot remember his name, but everybody, we all know who this actor is. Cancel. We're gonna bring that up. That's Fallen Hero. Clancy Brown, the Kurgan. There Can Only Be One, from Highlander, the movie, the original. Anyway, and it's kind of funny because he has, Clancy Brown has a naturally deep voice, but then he lowered it for Highlander, but he also lowered it for this. So you're just like, when he's talking with what's it called? When he's talking with Archer, because they find him adrift, or they came to their help, their aid, and then brought him, then he's like, oh, come visit me. Turns out that they're like terrorists. They're like the Taliban of their planet. So, but when he's talking, he's got this very deep voice, and it's like, oh my gosh, there can only be one. So yeah, that was kind of cool. Let's see, what is that one? Yeah, they go to Risa. That was kind of a dumb episode. I never really liked that one. So the season finale and the season premiere, the season finale of 1, season premiere of 2. We have Shockwave. We have Daniels comes back, and I know that, we've talked about this to death when it comes to time travel and and Star Trek, how it's just that trope that they always go to. I was never a fan of. I mean, I like Enterprise. Enterprise is a great show, but bringing Daniels in there and the whole time travel thing, and I know somebody asked. My brain is going to mush. I know somebody asked Scott Bakula about who he thinks the character, the person was talking to the Suliban from the future, and he goes, "Oh, that was me." No, it wasn't. I know that's fine. He wants to think that, but it's not him. It's not him. I always thought it was the Romulans, but yeah. So it is what it is. But that whole, yeah. But anyway, Daniels is back, sends him to the future, and then they come back. I don't know. It was okay. Now, one of my more favorite episodes was Carbon Creek. And I don't know why. These are the episodes from yesterday. Basically, it's their Trip and Archer and T'Pol are all having lunch or dinner or breakfast or whatever. And T'Pol starts telling the story about how she's, her great-great-grandmother was on Earth, because she was like, well, actually, the first contact with Vulcans, that was not actually the first time Vulcans were on Earth. So she tells a story about Carbon Creek, and that's because Archer is like, oh, hey, I was doing an evaluation, and yeah, you went to Carbon Creek. Why would you just go to this old mining town in Pennsylvania? What's up with that? So she tells a story, and I don't know, I've always enjoyed that story. I've always enjoyed that. I always thought that was kind of cool. And I'm not much of a Star Trek book reader, but I'm curious if any writers, basically, one of the Vulcans did not go, because there were 4. And they claim that when they got picked up, that her great-grandmother or great-great-grandmother or whatever, and this other guy were the only ones rescued, and that the captain was dead, which was true, and that this other guy also died, but he's not true. They said that he actually survived, and she's like, oh, he probably lived until he passed on. Now, mind you, they were on Carbon Creek. That was about 100 years before first contact. So somewhere in there, he could have actually left. But I'm curious. This leaves a whole open space of stories that could be told from this guy adventuring through America. So I think that was kind of cool. Now, what is it? Shoot, what was I going to say? Oh, one of the things I noticed, and I know you can only do so much when it comes to continuity, but there's a scene where T'Pol's great-grandmother is walking, and she's outside on the road in this little town, and there's a speed sign. It says 30 miles an hour or 35 miles an hour. It's a speed sign. It is a current standard speed sign that I don't think that they had those exact same speed signs in the 50s. I don't think so. So, I I don't know. I'd have to, I don't know much. I don't know the history of speed signs or what they've looked like over the years, but it just looked like a modern speed sign. So, and then the last episode from yesterday was Minefield. This is where we actually get to see the Romulans, not the actual Romulans, but we get to see their birds of prey, where Archer, they find a Class M planet, and they go and investigate, and it just so happens that it's been annexed by the Romulan Star Empire, and even what's his name? Even Archer's like, oh, well, Daniels, we were in this bookstore, or not bookstore, but we were in this library, and there was this book, because he says, oh, all about the Romulan Star Empire, and he's like, don't read that. He goes, oh, I saw a book on that. So he knows it's a thing. He's familiar with it, and of course the Vulcans are familiar with it. But of course we don't see who they look like or what they look like until Balance of Terror with Captain Kirk in the original series, which I just have to say I haven't had a chance to rewatch it. I plan to watch the entire all 10 episodes again, but of Strange New Worlds, the season finale, which is basically just a rehash of from Pike's perspective. Yeah, you thought he was off with the Thelosians. Pike's perspective, and how it really had to be Kirk to have the future go the way it went. So what a great way that they did that episode. Anyway, so we are up to date on Star Trek. Today's episodes are Dead Stop and A Night in Sick Bay. I already kind of started Dead Stop, and then I fell asleep, so I'll watch those at some point today. I'm going to try and not get so backed up. However, I might try and get ahead, because I've got this Bram Frank thing this weekend. So yeah, gotta get all caught up with that. So I might get ahead, so I don't get too far behind. All right. So speaking of all that, these are the events that are coming up. Got my Bram Frank's birthday bash. He will be turning 69 this year on the 19th. So I actually pick him up on Thursday. And then we'll have Friday, Saturday, Sunday, his 3-day camp. And then he'll actually be leaving here on the 19th or the 20th, I think. I think he's leaving on the 20th. Then that next weekend, we have a Rory Miller training lab. Then a self-defense class at 4. On the 6th, that next weekend, we have another self-defense class. Actually, no, we have nothing on the 30th. There's nothing going on the 30th. Yeah, I have absolutely nothing going on the 30th. But so two weeks from there, August 6th, self-defense class, crypt user course at 2:30 or 3. I can't remember when I did it. Elsewhere in the United States, August 12th and 13th, we have Bruce Chu and Ubuntu Bait. I'm gonna fuck up that name. Anyway, so they're playing at Gerald School in Jacksonville. And then Jim Korn and David Hogan are going to be in Statesboro Karate in Georgia that same weekend. I will be in San Francisco that weekend. So at Brandon Belisso's thing. I should just put this on here. The Brandon Belisso's, the 4-day experience. My wife and I are going for the 4-day experience. I went in November. It was life-changing. But I kind of need that revitalization. I need Lisa to be part of it, because some of the shit that I think up that is inspired by Brandon, she thinks is nuts. So I need her to experience this too, so she doesn't think that I'm too nuts. Then on the 18th, a Thursday, we have a booth at the Valley Ball Grass tournament, handing out popcorn, talking about martial arts. On the 20th, we're doing a self-defense class at noon, which on the 18th, I'll promote the hell out of. In September, I'll be in Indiana at Jim Korn's Friends in the Arts camp in Washington, Indiana. And then 2 weeks later, October 7th and 8th is the HKI camp. 90% chance, maybe 85 to 90% chance I'll be there. I do not have a ticket yet. That's why it's not at 100. And then November 5th, we have Dan's birthday bash, where he's having Brian Zawolinsky, Kelly Warden, and himself, all 10th Dons in Modern Arnis, playing and beating each other up and teaching. It should be a great thing. I'll be there. Okay, now Nerd Show's coming up on July 14th, Thursday, New Horizons, episode 7. I'm not looking forward to it. I will watch it. But we will not be talking about it on Friday because there will be no show on Friday. In fact, there may not be a show on Thursday. I just can't remember if what time I'm picking Bram up. So I'll keep you guys posted. August 5th, I've added this. Prey. Prey is going to be on Hulu. It is the latest in the Predator series. It's going to be the Predator versus the Cherokee Indians, I think. I'm really looking forward to this. I think this is going to be great. Fantastic. So August 5th. August 31st, we get Andor. I saw a little Star Wars timeline meme, and apparently Andor takes place in the time frame of Rebels, which is basically the 4 to 5 years before A New Hope. And then on sometime in August, maybe, I don't know, we get Lower Decks season 3. They still have not announced that. But September 9th, we got Cobra Kai season 5. I still need to watch season 4. September 14th, I put this on here. So if people are interested, Lower Decks gets a comic book. I know I've talked about this before, but now it's on here. It's not a show, but it's related to a show. Anyway, so they get their own comic from IDW. It's comes out September 14th, and there are 3 covers for the first issue. So when it comes out, I'm going to see if I can't get all 3 covers. And then on the 21st, September is going to be a good month. September 21st, we got Survivor 43. Looking forward to that. September 28th, we got Bad Batch season 2. And then we get into 2023. So sometime in February, we're going to have Mandalorian season 3, and then Ahsoka, Picard season 3, and then Discovery season 5. I have not watched Discovery season 4 yet. And I think what I'm going to do is, because Discovery is towards the end of a year of Trek, because we got to get through Enterprise, and then we're going to do the Kelvin movies, and then is Discovery. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to watch the 3 episodes of the 3 seasons of Discovery, and I might modify it and watch all 4 seasons, but I think I'm at least going to watch the 3 seasons of Discovery, and then I'll watch Picard, and I might just throw in Picard season 2 again. But so after the year of Trek is over, I will watch season 4 of Enterprise, or season 4 of Discovery. So we'll see. We'll see how that works. So, and maybe I might just speed up the timeline and watch all 4 seasons. I don't know. I'll have to look at the calendar, see how that'll work out. Now, there you go. I think that's all. That's all. Is that all? Yeah. So I've got stuff I need to do today. It's warming up. Actually, it actually feels kind of nice. I mean, I got the sun on my head because it's coming in between the house and the shade that I have. but it's supposed to be 90 some degrees today. Let me look at the app. What does it say right now? Ooh, it is 74. So I think it was 60 degrees when I started, or maybe it was 70 degrees when I started. 70 degrees. So basically in the last 50 minutes, it's gone up 4 degrees. I've got a nice breeze going on. So it's actually not that bad. But it's going to get hot today, at least for what we're used to. But I got stuff to do. I'll do stuff. I got to finish up the office. Hopefully the carpet it'll be mostly dry. I'll be able to bring stuff in and then we'll get stuff done. So there we go. Looking forward to this. So I think, but I'm babbling. So we'll just see each other tomorrow. I do have more tea, but when I start to babble, the show's over. So love you all. Thank you for hanging out. I saw this. I saw this. If you have watched this long, I heard somebody say something on a video that my wife was watching when it came to YouTube, and it said, if you've been watching this long, then you were interested in the content. Please give a like or subscribe, or maybe you just fell asleep and my episode continued running. So whatever it is, like, share, subscribe, all that really cool social media stuff, and I will see you tomorrow.